We are live. It is Monday. Sorry for being delayed this morning. People had to be all up in this and needy, so. Zuzu. No, go lay down. Zuzu. Buddy. He's mad that the mother-in-law's outside, and he's not. He just came in.
Yeah, it turns out he was still on too.
He's whining at the door because your mom's outside.
Yeah, but he wants to cuddle with her. Bean is currently locked up.
Alright, so we're gonna get back to working on the water here. Hope everybody had a good weekend. That's probably too long, but that's all right. As long as it doesn't tangle, then we are good. Did you fix her screen so he can't get out?
Yes, and her window's mostly shut anyhow.
It looks like 3. Is it? Yeah. Alright. Sorry, the fingies don't want to work so well today. Alright. They did a lot of stuff yesterday. Trying to get the mother-in-law's gift done. I was using metallic thread, which is very delicate. It's the first time I ever used it. Oh boy, I had to use that single-stranded because that kept trying to snag real bad and kept trying to pull off the needle. I now understand why people will knot it at the base of the needle and then just detach it from the needle after the fact. I get it now. Alright, let's see if I'm gonna need the threader here. Don't think I'm going to, but no, we got it. I might need it later. Come on. Okay. Let's see here. I had to fix my holder. The clip came off. I think it just spun loose. Alright, where do we want to start here today? Well, not there. I guess we can start there. I probably could have been a little bit closer than that, I suppose. We're kind of in frame here. If I happen to drift out of frame, by all means, let me know. It's almost better if I don't go right up against it and then work backwards. So I stopped doing that. That is irritating every time I do it. I almost need this like raised up just a bit here. Zuzu!
Oh my goodness, she'll be here in a minute, buddy.
That's what he does when you all leave and don't tell him. When he thinks he's the only person or the only dog in this house. Well, no, yeah, he thinks all his people left him. We're literally sitting in the room with him. Zuzu!
It's okay. You don't have to be like that, buddy.
No. Oh, but doing that way, we are out of frame. Okay. Alright. Because camera angles and all that. Okay.
Okay, new protector zone.
Okay, I was wondering what you were doing. Let's see. Hopefully this is not the same hole. No, good. It's hard to tell sometimes on this material. And back down we go. Okay. I don't know what his sudden attachment is to her. Suzu. Got a animal fuzz in there. Zuzu.
It's okay, she'll be back in a minute.
No. Alright, I'm gonna mute for a second, you guys. think he wandered out of the room. We are going to be in for a heck of a time. Your mom goes back to travel with her sister. Let's see, I want you to be maybe there. I'm not really left-handed here. My left hand doesn't always want to be a willing participant in matters, shall we say. Sometimes it takes a bit of convincing. Is she back in?
Yes.
So was that something that she ordered?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure somebody didn't put the wrong address in, and now we're stuck with something that we don't know where the heck it came from. I had to put some force behind that one, and I was scared because I didn't know where my hand was in relation to where that was coming through. I was like, uh-oh. Well, this could be a problem. Okay. I could feel I was just on the edge of that glue blob because there was a bit of resistance there. Like the thinner bits of glue, you can actually get the needle through, or at least this needle I can. All right. Now this, oh, so yeah, I don't know if Wednesday's stream is happening because of the weather yet. If it's just gonna be rainy, shouldn't be a problem. If the sky is supposed to be rumbly though. That could be a problem. Just a minute. Okay. You haven't had one of those in a while.
I actually get them relatively often. I just don't normally pick up.
No, I mean, I hadn't heard your phone ring in like the past 3 days, 4 days with a spam call. Unless you were out of the room. Okay, so now that I am done working on gifts, I can get back to working on other stuff, like filling in the backgrounds with my black thread on this guy. I need to take a look at a paint by number we had picked up while we were away and see if I can have a slightly easier go at it now that we're home. Hopefully. Hopefully that will be the case. Doesn't help that I keep pulling this thing to me. I don't know, we feel very far away. Not entirely sure why it feels all that far away. But for some reason today it does. It's kind of funny, I was looking at this clip the other day and I'm like, what is this? Where did this come from? It was sitting on the side part of my desk where I guess it's supposed to be a printer table. I have our scanner sitting on it at the moment. Ah, where the heck? No. Close enough. Providing I don't sew my hand to the back of this. Oh, yeah. That decided to unstick. Ah! Alright. Well, I mean, it's not alright, but... case. There was a knot in the wood on the stretcher bar. And it was rubbing on my arm last week. So I had taped some tissue on it. So what I had right there. I have some felt scraps from last night. I could try to tape on there now. Or wait, do I? No, I dumped paint water in there. Maybe I shouldn't. Probably. For the best that I don't go digging through that. Yeah, but I was so confused looking at that clip. I'm like, where did this come from? And I didn't realize what it was until I went to set up today. And I went to clip onto the canvas and I'm like, where's my clip? I did not realize it was the same piece, and I was like, wait a minute. And then I thought it broke. It just somehow unspun itself. And I'm not even sure how. I didn't think, you know, I thought I was coming up through the same hole. If nothing else, because of how it looked poking up. Right, I wasn't seeing like the canvas part. Around it. Cannot wait to get more of the black thread worked into here. Just to try to get these edges cleaned up a bit. It seems as though, don't do it. It seems as though CoffeeBot has left the chat. It says it's there. I haven't seen it say anything though, unless they trimmed down it's you know what? I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. I could just, you know, put the tape itself on there. Even that'll be a better texture. I mean, it's not super great, but it's better than just that would not. Having its way with my arm. Alright. So unfortunately it is a bit of a slow process. And I am only working, well, I'm only working on the, damn it, the colored part on stream. The black background I am doing off stream. As I have time. So that is one of my goals this week. And there will be no stream on Sunday, next Sunday. With it being Easter and me needing to cook and all that and having to pay attention to stuff out there in kitchen. There's Kofi Bot. I don't have it set on a half-hour timer. It just seems to be programmed into it. What is... Something's going on down here. What on earth? How many stitches back is that? Oh, bother. One stitch back. I had a tail of yarn hanging down, or thread. Hanging down. I wasn't entirely certain where that had come from. I was like, I didn't feel it all this time and now I'm gonna feel it. It was one stitch behind. But apparently that was just enough where it wasn't gonna pull through there. And I could have made the decision to just leave it, but then the back would have been super messy more than it is. More than it's going to be. So our city has decided that our, I guess, sanitation department will now be picking up trash on all holidays except for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I was like, really? Did you guys work that out with the people that own the dump? Because that means they need to be open to let you in to dump the trash trucks. Because that's not owned by the city, to my knowledge. Because it's not called the City of Blank's Dump, it has its own name. Which is very much not our city name, so... Okay. Unless they're gonna pay more for after hours access. Which, knowing this town, could be. But I guess they can't really skip days or skip. They can't skip the route for the entire week because they're pushing people to have special city trash cans. Before it was just trash bags that you had to buy. They're shit quality. The strings on them keep breaking. And by the end of the year, they're forcing everybody to go to these trash cans that have these special arms on them for the trash trucks to grab. But they're not side-loading trash trucks. They still have to get out of the truck and put it on the arm on the back of it. So that's brilliant. And all of your trash bags must be in these trash cans or they won't pick it up. And they're going to be charging more. a month on our waste management bill. It's tied into our water bill, is where our trash pickup is notated or charged or whatever. And depending on the size of the trash can you have, depends on how much you're being charged every month on top of it. Plus, you have to buy the trash can. You're not renting it, you are buying it. And I'm like, well, who the heck's gonna take a trash can with the city's name on it with them when they move out of the city? Nobody. And they're like, well, you can sell it back to the city if you want. You're not gonna get what you paid for it back. It's like a third of what you paid for it, I think. I forget how much the trash can is that we need to get. It's not cheap. Isn't it like $120 or something for an effing trash can? Because we need the large one. It's ridiculous. And we can't even drink the tap water. I mean, some people do. We don't. Been way too many issues with the water in this town. We're not comfortable drinking it. Some people have resorted to house reverse osmosis filters. And I'm like, yeah, how much is that setting you back? Because what the heck? Getting silly. I guess that could have been a little bit closer. On that side. There we are. It's like, where the heck are we? Right there, coming up out of the same hole. You know what? Screw it. We're gonna come up through there. Let's see. Can I just want to fill in that little spot? All right, good enough. not good enough. I mean, I know I'm looking under my glasses so I can see what the heck I'm doing, but I don't think that's a glasses issue. I think that's just a me issue. That bit of thread did not get us very out. Finger got caught. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to sew the back of my hand to this thing repeatedly, I guess. I kind of figured we would have gotten a little bit more mileage out of that, but I guess not. Especially not when I have to keep double backing. There we go. So maybe there. I'm not feeling any large snags under there either, so well, that's good. We've got this little nub right here at the base of this shell. This might be enough to get this guy. So today might just mostly be working on, excuse me, water blobs. In this section, since I'm trying to work downward here. Now we'll probably keep going with this shade until get like more lined up with here. Sorry, my ear just started itching like crazy. All right. I mean, it's still part of it. We still need to take care of it, even if it isn't a fun and exciting bit of it. And in spots where it seems like my threads are way too close to one another, I will try to at least bring that separation back a bit. When I come back in with the black thread. Or at least that's the plan. We'll see how that decides to execute on paper. Haven't really gotten in between the blobs up higher yet, where I started to do the blue here, or the black. All right, decision time. I'm fairly certain there's not enough left on this needle to finish out this blob, but maybe we can get a few bits worked in here. Maybe. Nope. Let's not do that. You all right? Yeah, we're probably gonna have to tie this off here momentarily to make sure I've got enough to tie it off. Oh no. Okay, I guess we're tying it off now. it decided to exit the needle without warning, so all right then. Oops, sorry. I did not mean to drop that. All right, let me tie that off. Okay. Actually, it might more be that edge. I mean, don't get me wrong, the tape does have a texture to it, and it is a little scratchy, but kind of doing the job. Let me go check on the husband real quick, because I just heard him yell about something. I will be right back. Burned it earlier at all. Like, it smells weird in this house, but not like incense weird. So there might be some smoke drifting through the camera view here for a couple of minutes. Then again, maybe not. My fan might be dissipating that bit here. Let's do this way. Could you mix up a batch of that eucalyptus stuff?
Oh, you want me to fill the bottle?
Yeah, because the last time I used it, it didn't have a smell to me.
Okay.
Unless my allergies are just that screwed up, but
Where did you use it?
on that rug.
Oh, in the room?
Yeah. I ended up having to replace the covers on my headphones. And they're not as thick as the original. And I will say, they do seem to make my ears super, super sore. If I have to wear them for quite a while. I can kind of smell the incense. Some days it seems to spread throughout the house a little bit better than others. Let's see. There we are. So now's the big test here. Thank you. Wasn't sure if I was just being extra sensitive out there or... See, now I smell it. The last time I used it, it didn't seem to...
It may also separate slightly.
I shook it. Like the bottle was bubbly.
Don't know.
So that section. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Let's try. Oh, no. Okay, let's try that. Okay. First pass there, I did not have it pulled all the way through. I could feel the dangly, messy bit of thread under there. I had to put a headband on because my hair is super short right now, and my fan is on. Oh dear. Oh, that's not gonna... Oh, well, maybe that was a simple fix. Okay, cool. And so my fan was blowing the little tiny baby hairs into my eyeballs, and my eyelashes in the corner was being super irritating. The only way to really make it stop is to either, well, is to turn the fan off. The only other way I have to make it a little bit more tolerable with the fan on is to have the headband on, so it's at least keeping it from tapping the side of my face where my eyes are. Essentially, so... And yes, these are 2 different shades of blue, in case you're wondering if your eyes are playing tricks on you. There will be a 3rd shade of blue. Incorporated here. Eventually. What was that I just touched? Oh, that was to a different... Okay. Alright, so I am... there. Okay, so I guess I'll come up there. That's not... too terribly far. And then that has us kind of working back in the direction that everybody else kind of needs to be. Once in a while, I will end up doing like a full... Oh dear. Like a full wraparound. Where is she?
She's in as good a place as she's gonna be.
Did she eat anything this morning?
She didn't eat that much.
What the heck is going on with all these animals? Wasn't too bad. Oh my goodness. Just a second, you guys. I'm gonna mute for a minute. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So, back to working on our water blobby friends here. Now this one is right up on that bit of coral there, so I'll definitely need to use the black thread there to get the separation back, because I didn't leave myself enough room in between the two. No one to blame but myself on that one. Alright. You know what? It'll be okay. It would be better if I didn't tangle that. For sure. Ugh. Just trying to get that untangled without having to flip that over. But the thread had other ideas. There we go. It does have a mind of its own, I swear. Alright, am I in the right spot here? Okay. Let's hope you are having a good day. No wants to go to the bar. Yeah. I was probably sick of this. This particular thread is so tangly. I've used the DMC a little bit. excuse me, and it's not been quite as bad as this Coates and Clark stuff. And I've used, well, can't really say that. I've used the Big Twist embroidery thread, and that wasn't terrible. It was a little tangly, but this stuff has just wanted to tangle every time I look at it. As someone who hasn't sewn a thing a day in his life, I respect the patience. Yeah, this one's gonna take some patience. I am newer to the whole embroidery thing. I usually paint and do other mixed media stuff, but I wanted to give this a try. But you know, I like to punish myself with these projects, I guess. I don't know, I did WoW challenges for a while with World of Warcraft, and that was leveling with absolute minimums. I did a grinding challenge where you couldn't do any quests and had to just kill stuff to get to max level with like absolute minimal gear. So we're not unused to things taking a while. But yeah, this one's gonna take longer than I anticipated. I don't know how long I thought it would take, but based off of how far we've gotten so far, I'm like, I underestimated this one. I'm not on a deadline with it or anything. If I was, I'd be working on it off of live stream. But this is just for funsies, I guess. You like watching creative stuff and you want to play WoW, but every time you attempt to play, it annoys you to no end. I played for quite a number of years. I was involved with one podcast in the outside of the normal realm of playing box way of thinking challenges, and like the Iron Man challenge people. I was involved with them. I was helping with their Discord, moderating that, and I was also doing website stuff for them, and co-hosted their podcast a few times, and was their social media manager for a while. But I managed to level all of the classes in the game at the time, right before Dragonflight came in. Dang it. Came back up through the wrong spot. And that took me a good while. So it kind of burnt me out after that. And the housing makes me want to go back to WoW. Just for, you know, I'd be able to decorate my housing. But then I saw the currency involved to buy the special housing, and that kind of pissed me off. And I'm like, or the special housing decorations, like, and the only way to get that currency is to purchase it. So it kind of felt Diablo-esque with their shop system, and I was like, I don't like that. And considering playing a hunter class with a gorilla pet after talking to your friend. Yeah, gorillas aren't bad. I mained a discipline priest for a good long time. And you know, we raided during Wrath of the Lich King, our guild and stuff, so I mean it wasn't bad, but the thing that made me have to, like, I don't play WoW anymore. The thing that made me have to step away from it was the dragon riding that came in when Dragonflight launched, because it was pretty much part of the expansion and the area out there where you had to use the dragon riding thing. And the dragon riding itself was slightly annoying to me, but I mean, that's whatever. But the thing that was the problem was that there was a graphic that showed up on the screen that showed up on the very, like, nose of the dragon, like, in front of you, that spun like a pinwheel. And then at the same time, there was, like, wind trails coming off of the wings at you, straight at you. And those two visuals happening at the same time were giving me a migraine within 30 seconds. And I'm like, oh no, that's not gonna work. They did eventually. I tried all of the accessibility things. Nothing made it better. They did eventually put in a achievement that you could get where you could use a regular mount out there. However, in order to unlock said achievement, you had to do the specific quests involving the dragon riding. And I'm like, well, that doesn't help me. So, that kind of killed it for me. And I was like, well, I can't really continue to be a part of the podcast or, you know, be doing the things if I'm not really playing, because I'm not going to have anything to talk about on the show. And then there was some other stuff going on where I didn't know if I was going to have time to do it either, so I stepped away. I still miss it, though. Like, I want to go back and play just, you know, to collect the things for the housing. I really do. But at the same time, it's $15 a month. When money's... We have to be careful of our money at the moment. And, it's not something I think I can dive fully back into for any lengthy period of time. And I could play on a trial account, but they do restrict you on what you have access to on the trial accounts. Like, you don't, or at least previously, you didn't have access to auction house or certain things. And I am busy doing other stuff. And you know, that's $15 I could put towards art supplies too. So I'm like, probably get more out of the art supplies. You tried the trial account and they cut you off at level, yeah, you only get to go to level 20 on that. That's as far as you can go on the free account. Because I was like, oh, well, you know, maybe I could putz around on a trial account to get some money to buy a token. I don't even know what token prices are at right now. Because they had this thing where you could get a game token off the auction house with in-game gold. And you could use that as your monthly subscription. Which is kind of silly because level 20 doesn't tell you anything. Yeah. I mean, what is max level now anyway? Because the last time... Shadowlands, it was 120. I believe. And it felt so weird when they redid everything. Or did they redo it in Shadowlands? I don't think they did. It felt weird because they were like doing the expansions in 10 level increments at one point, and then they're like, oh no, the max levels are feeling too daunting and people don't want to play when they see that the max level is like triple digits. So we're going to rework everything, make it so you can level anywhere you want. And then they like dropped the max level down substantially. Final Fantasy lets you go to level 7. Really? Yeah, 20 doesn't feel like very far. In that respect at all. But I mean, it also kind of makes me mad that you can't access Auction House on a free account because, you know, what if you can't afford the monthly subscription and the only way that you can do the monthly sub is to like earn money off the Auction House to buy a game time token off of said Auction House, because I mean, you're still putting the time in to earn that money. I mean, I could see restricting raid access or something with I think they might restrict you on that, but I saw somebody do a looking for group or was trying to do a raid unless they said they sat there for like a half an hour and didn't get in. I mean, that's not unheard of, depending on what you're queuing as, but especially if you're queuing as DPS. That can take a while, but I also wasn't sure if they were being restricted because of the free trial account they were on or what. But I feel like they shouldn't restrict that. I mean, there's so many freaking gold farmers in the game and bots in the game at times, and you can tell. You can totally tell. That I guess they're like, well, they're paying their monthly fees, so we don't care. I mean, there was a good stretch of like 6 months where I was just buying game time with the gold I was earning in game, but that was all I ever did, was just all I had time for was to farm for the money for the mats to sell them. Like, just let me have a trial account for this. On trial, and you can go all the way up to 2 expansions, but that's like every game. Huh. Interesting. I had thought about trying Final Fantasy, but the husband's like, you're gonna get mad at all the menus. Don't even bother.
To be fair, that there is specific things that would aggravate you.
Uh-huh.
It's not inherently the game. It's more like both the controls and the menu system.
Yeah.
Combined would irritate you because it is a very specific you thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, hello, Jack.
I'm a special muffin when it comes to things like games I play. I need to be able to rebind my keys certain ways, and if I can't rebind my keys, then it's a done deal. It's like, nope, I'm out. I'm excited to get back to painting. I'm gonna try to do some of those little artist oh, what the heck were they calling them? They decided to give them an acronym, and my dyslexic ass can't remember what the acronym is. ACEOs or something? The little artist trading card thingies, the little mini arts that are the size of a trading card. I want to try to do a few of those. We're all set to do tissue paper art again. I've got a bunch of tissue paper left over from the last big project I did. I didn't do that on stream, I did that off stream, but there is a recording of it that is way too long because it took me 7 months to do. To be fair, I was only working on it like 2 to 3 days a week though. And it wasn't for the entirety of the day, it was like for just the morning into the early afternoon. Like maybe like 9 to 2:30 or something like that. The community is also crappy. Really? I did not know that. But I mean, some people say that about WoW too. It kind of, I guess, in WoW it depends on the circles that you ran in. There were some real shitheads. Oh, we're in an ad. I will wait then. Stab myself. And they would mostly be correct. Yeah, no, like, I guess that's kind of true, and no matter what game you're playing, it really depends on your circles. Like, I ran across some real gems in WoW at one point. I stopped doing I get real anxious, and I have a slight learning curve when it comes to doing dungeons. Like, I need to do them a few times before I learn what I need to do. Just reading it isn't gonna do it for me. I need to physically do it. And I was on a class I was unfamiliar with, trying to level it. And I had never taken it into a dungeon before. And I was still a little shaky on the class's rotation. So I'm trying to pay attention to the rotation. And I'm trying to follow the rest of the group. And then the tank and the tank and a DPS were being just trash human beings. It was a very tight, confusing area we were running through that would have stone pillars and you could go around them in different directions, but it still kind of funneled you into the same direction. It's just there were multiple pillars you could go around, and there was trash patrolling through them. Where is my... There we go. Couldn't find where my needle was coming up. And they decided that they were going to be super elite and dodge the trash and I was trying to follow very closely to them since this was the shenanigans they were trying to pull. Because apparently they were in super big rush. And one of the trash patrols decided to walk right into me because they couldn't be bothered to pull it. It's not like I pulled it. I didn't, you know, it walked into me. It's not exactly face pulling. And then they were getting pissy. And I'm like, dude, you didn't pull it. Just, it's trash. Just pull it. And then we got to a boss, and I know I was low on the DPS meter because I was trying to do this rotation, but the class I was playing, you also have to stand still, and we had to keep moving in that particular boss. So that didn't help my numbers either. And they're talking about me in the main chat for the dungeon, because I can see them. And they started, like, trash talking me about how bad I was. And I'm like, as I was typing out, I'm learning a class I've never played before in a dungeon that I've never been in either. And I've never taken this thing into a dungeon. And as I'm typing that out, they group kicked me. And I'm like, okay, that's it. And then apparently they continue to be terrible humans about me, because my husband was in the group running a DPS too. And then I don't know if he left or if they kicked him too. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done doing dungeons. Most of the crappy people in 14 came from WoW. Oh yeah, I can see that. Totally. 100%. It's like, I'm not new to WoW. I've probably been playing longer than these MFers were. And I'm like, really? We can't just show a few moments of patience or kindness? No. Not allowed. Yeah, it certainly seems to. It certainly seems to. And I never understood it. I'm like, why do we have to be such trash human beings? Like, why? I don't know. Like, what is this gonna get you? It's not gonna get you anywhere. Like, you don't look like a cool, tough macho person. You just look like a frickin' asshat. So, like, and then nobody wants to be in your group. You're gonna get a reputation, and it is going to spread. Like, what the heck? I could tell some stories from some lovely trash people. Well, one person in particular, but it's one guy that was in our guild. I don't really know where he came from. I don't know how he ended up in there. I don't.
What are you talking about today?
Oh, I think his name was Cody. That brought justice. Didn't they come together?
I thought that was from Oak.
From what?
From Oak. We went by. I don't know his actual name.
No. Like, there had been this one kid that had been doing dungeons with us, I guess, and then ended up joining. And then he had a friend. And then that was there a couple of times, but the friend hadn't joined the guild yet. And then the friend did join, unless I'm confusing it with somebody else.
It's been so long. Who knows?
But I don't Was Oak somebody you met?
He was the one running the guild that she was in.
Yeah, no, this was she ended up running into us because of this dungeon and the friend she was running with at the time, if I'm remembering correctly. And he face pulled a few times and all. He owned it. And we were just kind of like dealing with it. We weren't giving him too much shit. And and he wasn't being too shitty back to us. He just seemed like a bit of a goofball, which, you know, fine, whatever. But this friend he was running with seemed okay at first. And I think the friend joined on an alt into our guild, and I was like, okay, whatever. That's fine. And over time, the friends got really weird. Not like nerd weird, just like aggressively weird. The main guild she was running with, raiding, like we were also kind of starting to get into, no, we weren't raiding yet. We were kind of raiding on the side. Husband, they needed a tank, so he was kind of helping them out. And then the one night they needed a second healer. So somehow I got brought in. First time ever in a raid, didn't know anything about this place. Had no idea what was going on. I was scared to death. I'm like, oh my god, these people are gonna hate me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I'm like, I'm gonna end up getting kicked out. And I was doing my best to keep people alive because I was a healer, and she was also on a healer at the time. And it was pretty tough. And I think my first night with them, I was homesick or something from work. And I was sick as a dog. And I was like, you know what? I can't pay attention. I can't do this right now. Maybe next time. I am so sick. So I bowed out. They seemed to be fine with it. And I got invited to go with them another time. And it became apparent that her character kept constantly dying. And she kept saying she kept disconnecting. But she wasn't disconnecting in the voice chat program that they had going, which I thought was weird. Because they were using, oh, what were they using? Was it Mumble, Ventrilo? I don't remember what it was at the time. But it was one that you had to connect through your desktop. There wasn't like phone chat apps at the time. This was before smartphone, real smartphone technology that we have now. This was around Wrath of the Lich King. It was during Wrath of the Lich King. And she would be saying, oh, I disconnected again. But she was talking, and I'm like, how is your game dropping, but your voice chat isn't? Like, I was real confused. Dang it. Keep coming up through the same spot. And I kind of was confused, but let it go, because I wasn't that tech savvy. I'm still not. And then at one point, she said in chat, oh, I have to restart. And I was like, huh? You're talking to us while your PC is restarting. And I'm like, okay. Like, do you have a second PC running that your voice chat is running through? Like, I was real confused. And I had mentioned that, and the husband's like, I don't know what she's doing. I'm like, alright. But every time we got into, like, an intense part of a boss fight, she would disconnect when I was with them. And it felt like she was trying to make me look bad. And trying to make me the reason that everybody was wiping because they were gonna die. But I kept that entire raid team alive every time she disconnected until she came back. And it was making her kind of look like a bit of an ass. And I was like, okay. And I couldn't prove it though. And then I think we were with them when they killed one of the final bosses. It wasn't the final boss, I don't think. It might have been. I don't remember.
It was the last boss of that wing.
Oh, okay, it was that way. And you know, there were some gear pieces that dropped. She won the roll on it because you had to roll for the loot. It wasn't just assigned to you with how they were doing it. And a bunch of people, she's like, okay, well, we can take this off farm now because she got what she wanted out of it. And the entire, we were running with their raid group, just exploded in anger. And they're like, what do you mean? No, we're not taking this off farm. There's still other stuff that people need. And because she was like co-raid leader or something, or was raid leader, and oh my god, people were so pissed. And I'm like, well, I didn't get what I wanted either, because we were both rolling for the same thing. And she was something. Oh yeah, no, that's what it was. Her and Cody were a thing.
Oh, that's right.
Because Cody ended up leaving us. This was the name he gave us. I don't know if that was his real name or not. Because they were kind of in a internet relationship at that time. And
I didn't think they were a thing until they actually met.
Well, they met. I mean, I think that's why they met, because they were in an internet relationship. And they were sort of a thing. And then he started telling us, like, there were, I guess after they met for, I guess, some fun times, that her kid, whenever she would talk to him, would start going on about, oh, are you gonna be my new daddy and stuff, that she was making him say this, making the kid say this to him. And he's like, yo, we've like met like once, what the heck. But she had some issues, because she would be, as time went on, she started to be nasty to me, but only when my husband wasn't around, which was weird. And I kept telling him, I'm like, no, you don't get it, she's being like catty. And he's like, no, I don't think so. He goes, I think you're reading it wrong. And I'm like, no.
No, I wasn't saying that she was being catty. It's that you kept giving examples that didn't seem all that bad because I was present for them. You never told me she was being a shit when I wasn't there until the day everything ended.
And she was real obsessed with him being a tank for them, because they were down a tank. Real obsessed. And she wanted to merge our guilds at one point. I'm like, no, I'm not comfortable doing that. We can partner up and run side by side, but I'm not merging our guild into yours. I don't want to do that. And because some other people in the guild were starting to get ick from her. A little bit. And because she kept trying to no, that was later. But the one night I'm sitting there, and I was on before the husband was. I was up, we were working grave shift, so I was up before him that night. We were off that night. He was sleeping. I was like, fine, we don't have anything pressing we have to deal with tonight. I'm gonna let him sleep. I logged in, and there was something going on in the guild where they were trying to gear somebody and trying to figure out if this one weapon was better that was on auction house. I'm like, well, the husband's an engineer. I know he can make that weapon, or that class of weapon. Let me see what he can make, and we can compare the stats. I don't know. I have to log into his account. So I logged into his account. And within 5 seconds of being logged in, she's messaging his account, like, can you come tank for us? We need a tank. Can you come tank for us? I'm like, hold on a second. And I said, you know, after I got a second, was sorted and had windows up, I'm like, this is his wife. I'm on his account trying to do something for a guildie. Once I get them sorted, then we can talk for a second. So, I was trying to get the guildie sorted. After some back and forth, got that sorted. I logged off the husband's account, and then I messaged her on mine, I believe. And I was like, so what's up? And she's like, where can he come tank for us? And I'm like, no, he's asleep. That's why I was on his account doing something. I was like, I'm not gonna wake him up for that. And she's like, but we need him to come tank for us. Go wake him up. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna wake him up. He's asleep. It's his night off. And she was starting to piss me off. She was being real pushy about it. And I was going back and forth with the guildies, telling them what was going on. I was like, should I be a bitch about it, or should I be nice? And we had one ball buster in the guild, and he's like, fuck it, piss her off. And I'm like, yeah, but if I piss her off, then the husband's gonna be mad. So I was trying to be nice to her, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. He'll be up in a little while. It's our night off. He wanted to sleep in, so I'm gonna let him sleep. And she made some kind of comment about keeping him to myself or something. It was way out of line and not what was going on at all. And I really think she had a crush on the husband at one point, and I'm like, I don't think it was just about the tanking, because she gave such mean girl energy about it. Just the way she said it, it felt like she thought I was like gatekeeping the husband, and I'm like, well, he's my husband, number one, and you're being weird. And you know, enough. I was like, I'll tell him when he gets up. And she was getting really pissed that I wouldn't wake him up. And then she started laying into me and got real nasty and ugly with me. And I'm like, whoa. She was so out of line that I very loudly was like, that bitch. And it woke the husband up. And he goes, what's going on? I said, nothing. Go back to sleep. He goes, no, tell me what's going on. So he got up and right over my shoulder, and he got livid with how she was talking to me. And he got on his account, and she, just like that, as soon as he messaged her, she was like sweet as could be, was a completely different person. And she didn't know he had just read the exchange over my shoulder. And he laid into her, and then she got all... Was she trying to backpedal, or was she being pissy to you then after you saw what she said? I can't fully remember.
She was basically trying to gaslight you.
Yeah, like, she didn't act that way to me, and I'm like, he just read it. And then we ended up going back and screenshotting the entire conversation. It was that bad and that ugly. And we ended up messaging, we put it on our guild website. Because we're like, no, this behavior is not acceptable. And we put it on our guild website, so that way all of the guild knew what had happened. And why we weren't going to be running with her anymore. And why we have blacklisted her from our guild. And then a couple people that the husband was still kind of friendly with, that didn't have a problem with, that were in her guild, he messaged them. And I think he might have messaged the guild leader too at that point, and said, hey, this conversation just took place between your raid leader, or your co-raid leader, and my wife. You might want to go see what type of person you're running with. And oh, that guild got mad at her. I think there was already things going on in that guild, and I think she was already being a bit of a... Where's my needle? All right, I'm all the way over there. Okay. I think she was already being a bit of a problem. Because, they got real mad at her. And the next thing we knew, I don't know that it was that night, but it was relatively close in time. That guild dissolved. She got pissy and was all, Bender, I'm gonna go make my own guild with blackjack and hookers. And, took part of the raid team with her that I guess, I don't know if she bullied them into going with her or if they were afraid to not go with her. Some of their guild members that we had run with had messaged us, and I believe they were apologizing or thanking us for telling them what had transpired, because it also made the rest of their guild look bad. And you know, it was a time of where one person's attitude towards outside guild players set the tone for your guild, especially when you were trying to advertise to fill spots, because there was no, like, looking for queue or anything at that point, where you could backfill other people from other servers that might not know that much about you, where you were sitting in trade chat trying to find people to fill a spot. You know, how your guildies behaved around other people meant a lot, because then your guild got a reputation and nobody wanted to run with you if it got around that your members were questionable in behavior. But yeah, she ended up going and making her own guild. It was a whole thing. It was so much stuff that she did. And then I found out that she was talking about me to one of our other guild members and bad-mouthing me to them. And she kept trying to get that person to join her guild. And they didn't mind running with them, but they didn't really want to join their guild. And then one poor guy got stuck in the drama so badly. And I don't even know how he got sucked into the drama. He was just in our guild. And I guess she decided that she wanted him running with them. And I'm like, look. So he was talking to us about it. I said, you do what you need to do. Damn it. If you want to go run with her, you can go run with her. I'm not going to force anybody to stay. I can't force anybody to stay. I don't know you. Like, and that's wrong to try to force people to stay somewhere where they don't want to be. I was like, you do what you need to do. I will still consider us friends. Because I've got no qualms with you. This won't ruin a friendship or anything. And it got to the point where I think he got so fed up with her that he switched servers and left our guild. And he's like, yeah, I'm not doing this. And I was like, my guy, it was nice knowing you. Again, didn't have any issues with you. And I wish you luck. I'm sorry she was that way to you. She was... And somebody else was like, yeah, you know she's trying to, like, poach people from your guild to come over to her new raiding guild, right? And I was like, hey, if people want to go over there, that's their choice, but no thanks. And then we started doing our own raids. Once we realized we had enough of our own people that wanted to do the thing. And I think one night, her guild's run, before all this drama happened, was like 3 or 4 of our people in a 10-man raid run, and I'm like, so we're making up a good chunk of your raid right now. Okay. So I was like, you know what? We might have the people to do this on our own. So we were a very small, very casual guild, where raiding was something fun to do, not our lives. But I miss old WoW. I don't love what it turned into. Like, I get why they lowered the max level, but at the same time, it kind of felt like a slap in the face for all the time that people had put in before they did that. You know, you had something to show for it. Your character was this level, and then they, like, just wiped it all away. Like, nope, everybody's this level now. And we're like, no. This is dumb. But now I'm kind of just more doing the cozy game scene. The farming sims. Whoop, wrapped around my hand. Planet Zoo. You know, Moonstone Island, Stardew Valley, Coral Island. We haven't done Stardew Valley in a long time. There's been so many changes since we've last played that. Keep coming up through the same hole I just went down. That's not gonna get us anywhere. Nope. Nope. So I'm gonna fill in like the background with black thread. And I have to repaint the outer edge here. Because I'm not a fan of how this paint went on. So I will be fixing that. I'm just waiting at this point till I'm done, so I don't mess it up even further. Alright, I think I am... Well, you know what? I guess we can jump over to this one here. Over to here. But yeah, I mean, people got real crazy at times during that. That's okay, I'll go play my cozy games now that don't have a monthly subscription on them. That was the thing, like, the expansions were so expensive. Like, I was all into the collector's editions, getting the mounts and everything, and all of it. I think if I ever did go back, I'd end up starting completely fresh. Brand new characters. I just don't, at this point, I don't want to pay $15 for something I know I'm not going to be playing every single day. When we have to be careful with funds. If that was like the only game I was playing and we weren't doing arty things on the channel, then yeah, I'd probably go back or try to go back. But at this point, I think I'm happier just spending my time doing our arty things and playing our cozy games. So right now we're doing art 2 days a week and gaming 2 days a week. So Sundays right now we're playing Dinkum at the moment. I don't know if I just clicked that other whole... Yep. I did. You know what? Let's... come up through that side. And we'll see how that does us. Didn't quite sit where I wanted it to. That's alright. We'll figure it out. So we're doing Dinkum on Sundays at the moment. And then Mondays we're doing embroidery. Tuesdays we are currently doing needle felting. And then Wednesdays we are currently doing Planet Zoo. I'm excited for Planet Zoo too. I took part in their survey that they put out for what people wanted to, like what the top priority list was. So I guess we can see maybe what the game launches with. I'm excited. There was some good stuff in there. I mean, I hope we get all of it, but there was quite a good list of stuff. Why are you... You're being weird. And then I also have a YouTube channel where we archive the live streams at. I say we because sometimes the husband is participating in the live. Not often, but sometimes. I have one more kind of space there. I want to try to fill in. Alright, that's not so bad. Okay, so we've got this little guy. Right here. What time is it? Are we taking him before dinner? Oh no, we has to be this afternoon. Alright. Are we taking him this afternoon?
No, might not.
What's wrong?
Huh?
What's wrong? Well, that's why I didn't know, because if it's this afternoon, I'm gonna have to stop soon. Okay. Might want to let her know to not get him wound up. Alright. So we're gonna keep on going. I know we only really worked on water blobs today. But doesn't change the fact that we needed to do it. I kind of want to make a mini flamingo sculpture with my seashells. I don't know if I can pull it off though. I would need some kitchen skewers or some kind of wooden skewers, and I think I have them. I have to dig through my one drawer of art supplies, but I think we have something. Not sure how I would attach everything. I mean, I have hot glue, but at the same time, I haven't been a huge fan of my hot glue lately, depending on what I'm working on. It was not holding up so well outside. Sorry, I had to change how I was sitting. I used to be able to, there's like a metal bar on my desk, like at the foot of my desk. Damn it. That I would push my feet against to stretch my legs. Or I would push them against the wall to stretch my legs. And, so I kind of need that, like, sensory input of stretchy the leggies at times, because my legs will just start to ache. And I can't do that anymore right now because the newest cat in the house, even though we've had him since, like, officially running about since, like, September, I guess. He likes to get into the wires under my desk, and he will sometimes chew wires. He will get all tangled up in there. So I had to put a piece of foam board, to try to block him from getting in the wires. Which blocks me from stretching my legs the way I like to. So I'm like, great. So now I've been trying to figure out other ways I can sit. And be a bit more comfortable. Okay, so we've got a little bit of thread left on this needle. I do not think it's enough to finish this water blob. The heck am I? Hello? Ah, there we are. I'm like right near the stretcher bar underneath. Just wasn't sure how close to it I was. Tell you what, gonna wrap around underneath. I don't normally do it that way because I feel like it wastes thread on the backside. And it hurts my little soul to waste that much thread. That's probably good. I think I'm just seeing a shadow. Or am I? Nah, we're good enough. Alright. What side am I on here? I'm on this side. Okay. Note to self, if we ever do another one, make sure to leave a little bit more room. Just a moment. Family member needed something. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need to tie off this thread relatively shortly. Just glad I got the Mother's Day gifts done. So now I can spend some time working on this. I know I got them done early, but I didn't want to be racing to the finish line on them. If I didn't need to be. Alright, yeah, I think I'm gonna tie that off there while I still have room to tie it off. I mean, the back's a little messy, but it's not terrible. I mean, that's a mess, but I did have... No. I don't know if that's a snag. That might be a snag. Like, I feel like we might have been able to go a little bit more, but then when I take it too close to the end of the thread, tying off gets kind of sketchy. Okay, got that woven in there. I really need to make a pin cushion or get a pin cushion one of these days. Okay. Alright, so since we're not taking him to the park, the one doggo, the doggo that was howling earlier because the mother-in-law was outside, and she's the one person in this house that he's obsessing about being with right now. That doggo probably isn't going to the park at all today. Husband has his Shadowrun-esque cyberpunk D&D thingy later. We're gonna keep going a little bit further. I mean, plus since we got a little bit of a later start today. Well, do you want to start now? Let's... Nope. Not the right spot. Nope, nope, nope. Might be close enough. Okay. So I'm doing 3-strand. I couldn't tell you the name of this color if my life depended on it, because this was out of a variety pack of thread that Coates & Clark doesn't seem to think that they need to bother numbering their thread colors in their variety packs. I tried to color match this N because I realized I wasn't going to, well, there was a world in which I wasn't going to have enough of this shade on me, and when we went back to get another variety pack, they didn't have them anymore. Like, not like out of stock, like it was gone from the shelf, as in, oh, we're not carrying that anymore. To be fair, I did buy that variety pack in like October, November, because I was running out of I was running out of one shade on my mom's Christmas present, and I was like, oh no, because I was doing a kit for an embroidery rooster for hers, and they didn't say how many times you were supposed to wrap around for the French bean stitch, and I guess I wrapped it too many times, and so I used more thread than I anticipated. So I had to try to get some more red, so I ended up just buying 2 variety packs of thread to make sure I had enough of any of the potential colors or close to potential colors that were in the kit, so I didn't run out of anything else. And then I've got all this thread left, so this is that thread that I'm trying to use up. The thread cube I got on Amazon seems to be using the color number system of DMC, I believe. It's hard to tell because, you know, dye lots can change. We know that from yarn and from my time working in the craft store. And some people not understanding dye lots. I mean, if they were new to a thing, understandable. But, you know, I worked in the kids department. So my section was right next to the way that store was laid out. My section was right next to the yarn department. And it was explained to me, you know, like, you have to match your dye lot because even though it says it's the same shade, they're dyed in different batches. Like, they'll dye X amount of yarn and this will be its batch number or lot number. And every lot number, the shade's different. Which was like really kind of... What is happening under here? Which was really kind of confusing. Sorry, I'm like... What the heck? What did I do? Is that like a knot? I can't even pull that. Oh boy. Okay, that's gonna be like that. I can't fix that. It looks like it's like looped through something back there. Okay. Right. Sure. Get the fingies out of the way. Of course, now I keep grabbing it and pulling on it. I'm gonna go over the back with some glue when we're all said and done. Just to make sure nothing decides to come loose back there. But anyhow, yeah, we had to like explain to people, you can't just come back and get more yarn because the dye lot might be different. They're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, when they dye the thread or the yarn, you know, depending on how the yarn takes, fiber takes that set of dye, the dye ratio could be slightly different. Like, I've seen dye lots in the same basket be different, like the same for sale basket rack that they had them in, look like completely different colors. We've had people come in, I ran out of this, do you still have this dye lot? And we're looking through and up against each other, completely different colors. Like, we would have to try to call other stores for them. Be like, we're like, when did you buy this? Like, was it a couple of days ago? We can see if this store has that color. I can't promise they're going to. Or has this lot number. Now what's... Is that the same? Okay, that's the same issue. Okay. So it's like, keep your receipt. At the time, we didn't have a time limit on returns. It was just if you had your receipt, it's like, buy more than you think you're going to need. Hold your receipt, and if you don't use all of it, then you can return it. Of course, that didn't help the next person who needed to do something, but if you only needed one ball and you didn't care about the dye lot, then, you know, whatevs. But when you're doing a sweater, you kind of need to make sure the whole thing is the same dye lot. Especially if you're doing a solid color of the sweater. But I'd always have people coming up to me, since I worked in the department next to her, next to the other ladies that had the yarn constantly. Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? I need more of this dye lot. I'm like, we can't order the dye lot. We get what we get. There were times where I had to get a manager to get the big ladder. Because we had one ladder in the store that would get you near the ceiling. And we had yarn baskets. We had overstock for the yarn baskets that would be almost to the ceiling. And number one, I couldn't lift that ladder. It was way too big and way too awkward. And number two, I wasn't climbing that. There was no way. You couldn't pay me enough. I'm shaky on like a 3-tier step stool. Like, oh god, I'm gonna fall. I've fallen downstairs before though, so. Didn't used to have a problem with stairs until I misstepped in the dark. Thought I was on the last step, and no, I was on like the third to the last step. And took a huge tumble. Stretched all the ligaments out in my one ankle. That was terrible. Oh. You angered Automod. And now, because you angered Automod, now I have to report you. That's, a heck of a name, too. You would think by now I would know how to spell this word with how much I have to keep typing it. Welcome to my band list. Okay. Gosh, I don't think I'm gonna have... Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if we have enough thread to get this blobby guy up here. Not exactly where I want it to be, but close enough. Close. enough, I suppose. Keep getting stuck on that thread. Yeah, that snag that somehow happened down there. Every time I'm like pulling back through in this one section, I keep hitting it. Oh, oh, get off my finger. Okay. So, gonna go this way. Alright, let's see. I don't think this is the same hole, but I've been proven wrong before. Alright, do you want me to make the bourbon sauce tonight so you have something to eat?
Just have some veggies and rice.
Okay. You don't want any meat? At all?
No, I'm good.
Like, I can spare a few pieces. Did you find out what my mom wants for dinner yet? Alright, so do I need to do dishes tonight after dinner, or are you getting...
I don't know.
Okay. I didn't know if you were getting them later or not.
Generally plan to, but that doesn't guarantee anything. It depends on how I'm feeling.
Alright, yeah, I don't know if I have enough thread on this needle to, that might be the same hole. Oh no, good. Or what I want to do about that. So it feels like I'm gonna have to rethread it to get this guy finished up there. But if I do that, then I'm gonna have extra thread that I'm not gonna want to waste. So should I wait? Until I get these guys? We still have to do those guys. Or do I just need to go after it now and get those guys now. Hmm. Hmm. Where does that piece drop off? I can't see the other side of it. Yes, it's about there. Well, I mean, let's see. Right, worst case scenario is that I only get it partially covered. Right? Best case scenario is it turned out to be enough to begin with. Alright, so I did post a small photo of the finished mother-in-law's thing on Blue Sky. The picture doesn't really do it justice. Had I realized that the background was just going to be too white. Okay. I would have painted it green before I started. But I didn't realize that until I was almost done, that the white just looked too stark, too bland. I don't know, it needed something in the background, which I didn't figure out till I was like almost done, and I was like, great, now what? So I had to try to paint around all of the stitching while it was still in a hoop. And that pattern was one I made myself. I used one reference photo of like a butterfly shape that I liked, just to kind of get the main body of it somewhat symmetrical. And then I used some of the photos interior shape placement of like different areas of white or color as my base, and then I kind of tried to figure out where I wanted stuff to go from there. So that got modified as I was figuring out what I wanted to do. We're gonna be just short, I think. Potentially. Gonna be a tough one. I'm not too worried if I came up through the glue. Because I can always clean up part of it. With the black thread. Oh, this is going to be close. So very close. All right, let's see. We've got that in there. Just a minute, you guys. Sorry. Mother-in-law needed something now. Okay. So I think we're gonna just say that shape is good enough there. And we're gonna see about tying this off. And I want to try to get these ends woven in there. All right. So we did have just enough to finish that spot. Okay. Let me swing the helpy holdy arm out of the way. Alright, so we're not doing too bad. We've got all of the mid-range blue in that section filled in. So next time, we're going to work on our little corally guy here. I haven't decided what color he's going to be. Kind of want him to be like, maybe like a reddish orange, maybe. So we'll work on that. And then the watercolor down here is going to be like a really deep blue. Let me see. So we're thinking it's going to be like this blue because I have an extra skein of this, maybe two. For like the deeper water down here. So that's the plan for that. And we are going to call it there today. We'll be back tomorrow. And we'll be doing needle felting tomorrow, so don't forget to follow the social links down below. Thank you to everybody that joined in today. And those social links will take you to the Blue Sky, the Ko-fi, and the YouTube channel, where most of the live streams are archived. And you'll find some stuff that we didn't archive as well. Like playthroughs of Bear Breakfast, Little Known Galaxy, and Honey, I Joined a Cult, along with some art projects that we didn't stream as well. So, I will see everybody tomorrow for needle felting. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time, have a good one.